Hello, thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of How I Failed in Business, the podcast designed to remind us all that things don't always go well.
That's right, we want to take a look at life a little bit differently, and that can be included with careers, business, and everything else in between. We are here to champion the failures, celebrate the mistakes, and ultimately find ways to overcome challenges.
I'm Megan Grace, an expert digital marketer, content creator, and podcast producer.
And I'm Rob Spence, a sales trainer, author, and owner of a multi-award-winning digital marketing agency. And welcome to this week's episode. Megan, how are you? How's your week?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I feel good. I feel weirdly a bit tired, lethargic, perhaps.
I can sort of tell.
Can you really? What,
Yeah.
in the way I look, or just what's going on?
Sort of everything. The way you're stumbling over your words.
I know. I don't even know what I wrote. Maybe I should use AI a bit more. I don't know.
No, use it less. Was this AI or
No,
not?
this is me.
This is considerably less cringy, to be fair. So, fair play.
So you know when it's not cringy that I wrote it, and if it's super cringy, it's me.
cringy.
But yeah, I feel like this week's flown by. I feel like my
Mhm.
feet haven't touched the floor, and I can't believe that in literally a couple of days' time it's going to be the weekend
I know.
again. It's insane. But how's your week? What have you been doing?
A lot. Lots of cool things.
Like what?
Are we teasing now?
I think we can tease now. I
Okay.
think we can. It makes sense.
So this week we went on a content shoot
Mhm.
to Land Rover, which was really, really cool. So Land Rover experience.
We did. I really enjoyed that. I know you don't want me to say anything
No,
about
because we're talking
this
about this in a future
at all.
episode.
But I had such a fun day.
It was very fun. That's all we can say.
So Molly behind the camera also went. How are you, Molly?
I'm good, thanks, guys.
Good. She's typing away. I don't think she cares about the podcast.
No,
I'm
she's
actually,
got a
actually
lot-
backing up the content from yesterday.
She's got
Okay.
so
That
much
is what
to
I'm
do.
Just
doing.
careful, because we're not allowed to say much, apparently,
No, we
according to Megan.
Oh, no, because we're going to have a whole episode on this.
We are,
We don't want
we
to
are.
ruin that, do we?
But can I just say, isn't it not? Did you go home and think, like, this is my job?
I actually did, to be fair. I actually texted my mum. I was like, I get paid to do this. This is crazy.
Exactly. Like that. I felt like I was on holiday. I think I said this when we were out there. It felt like just an excursion whilst being on holiday. I had such good fun.
It was very
I'm
fun.
gonna lie, I was driving home. I was a little bit felt like just a little bit queasy,
Yeah.
a little bit car sick,
I
but
did.
also shattered. My legs were a bit tired.
I wonder why.
It's all the,
All the lunging.
all the lunges. Did you get some good shots of the lunges?
Yep.
Good. Just for my OnlyFans and so on. But I know we've got to move on from this. 'Cause I know you don't want
more's
to talk
going to
about
be
it.
revealed in a couple weeks' time. So.
Can we say what's going to happen? Can we
No,
say
Rob, that ruins it completely. Completely.
Okay.
No.
Okay. But
Something happens and it's cool and it's going to all be revealed.
in how many weeks? 2 weeks time.
Obviously not this week. Not next week, the week after. Are you okay?
2 weeks time.
Yeah.
2 weeks time. Okay,
2
so
weeks
stay
time.
tuned. Make sure you're following us because in a few weeks we're allowed to be we will be allowed to talk. Honestly, what is wrong with me? I didn't even have a late night. I was in bed for like 10:30. I wasn't. A bit late in that actually. Yeah, I am shattered. You're going away on holiday soon. How are you feeling about that?
I'm really excited.
Really? So where are you going?
Portugal.
Lovely.
Faro, I think you say it.
I don't know.
Faro in Portugal.
And
Very,
can we
very
just
soon.
confirm you've got your passport?
I have my passport.
Right. Okay.
It's safe, slightly water damaged. I am scared. They're going to turn me away because they're going to say this page is all faded.
Just own it. Again, I think you got when you're dealing with that kind of thing, you just got to act confident. Have you ever seen the original Mr. Bean movie?
No.
Okay, there's a scene where he's going through the airport and he looks a bit suspicious, so the police act on him, right?
I get really nervous at airports anyway.
Why?
They just scare me. I think so. The first ever time I was in an airport, I did get stopped and checked,
Oh.
and they took swabs of my hands and everything.
What?
I don't they got this little cotton bud and they went like this on my hands, and then they made me wait there whilst they ran it through a machine. They were like, "Yeah, you're all good."
Official people or just another passenger? They just started rubbing stuff on your hands.
Yeah, it was just some guy in a tracksuit came up to me. No, official people. But that's happened a lot. I get stopped a lot. So the most recent time I went away, they when your bag goes through the scanner, my bag beeped. So then they said, wait there. I was stood there scared anyway because there's something about airports. I just feel like I'm just going to get accused of something, which I almost have been. So they're like, okay, can you wait? And they open my bag and they take out like the liquids, and it's like a bottle of shampoo, but it's not in the actual shampoo bottle. It's in like one of them little like travel sized ones, but it's labeled shampoo. And they pick it up and they're like, what's this? And I say, shampoo. And they run it through, and I'm stood there and I'm getting like really, really nervous. And then he who shall not be named was there. Okay.
Voldemort.
Yeah, Voldemort. Like, so he's standing next to me, and then he just leaves me by myself. I'm just stood here. So I'm like shouting at him, like, come back, come back, come back. He comes and stands with me, and he's like, why are you so stressed for? And I look at him, and I just burst into tears. So then I've got him standing beside me. I've got the guy checking my bag, who's then just looked at me because I'm crying, which makes me look more suspicious if I've just started like bawling my eyes out. They ran it through, obviously found out that I was not smuggling any illegal liquids into the country. I was fine, and they just put it back in my bag and they just zip it up and they're like, have a nice flight. And I was just there in floods of tears. I was like, yeah, I will, thanks.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, you too. So airports stress me out anyway. So now that I know that I'm going with a slightly damaged passport, I don't know how I'm gonna.
I can sense the I can feel the stress. Like, I think our listeners heard the stress as well. So 2 things to take away from that story. 1, an early red flag from he who shan't be named. Okay, right. We should have picked up on that sooner, but it's what it is. It's by the by. Okay, ring in the sea very soon. Mm-hmm. Second thing, right? Just don't act suspicious. Just own it.
But I don't act suspicious. It's just because I go in with so much like anxiety that they just clearly pick up on it. No, and they look. She looks awkward. Why is she so red in the face? It's because I just feel like.
So flip that around then. Don't look suspicious.
But I can't not. If I'm already anxious, I can't not look suspicious because me being anxious makes me look suspicious. Right. But I can't just not be anxious. It's a very stressful situation.
You're a theatre kid, right? You're a theatre kid, right? What you got to do? You got to play a role. Okay, so let's talk through the role. I want us to get into character now. You're a confident 22-year-old female businesswoman, right, full of panache, going to close a deal in Portugal. That's the role. You just got to break into it and go for it. You can't play anxious Megan, I'm afraid. But you'll be okay. You'll
stressful
be fine.
Situation.
Can you keep us up to date as to if we need to kind of like bail you out of any kind of terrorism prison or anything?
Yeah, please? Potentially. I'm also scared that I'll lose my passport on the over there and then not be able to get back.
That would be hilarious. I kind of hope it happens. But can I just say, I'll miss you next week because next week no one's here in the office.
No one's in the office. Molly's away.
I was like, I'm supposed to be going to Leamington Spa on Monday to record some content, and I was like, well, who shall I take, Megan or Molly? Can't take either of you because you're both dossing off, going on holiday or wherever you go. Where are you going, Molly? Are you going away, Molly?
I'm going to Norfolk.
Oh, okay, lovely. Whereabouts?
Hickling.
Really? Lovely. Are you going on the Norfolk Broads?
We're going to go to Broads and then we're going to go to the beach.
Nice.
You're just doing 2 things on holiday? How long?
Yeah.
Just 2 things. Okay, lovely.
Well, that's the plan over the few days we're there.
Okay, so a few days and you've got 2 things planned.
Well, no, we're going to go along the coast, like drive along the coast, stop in at the beaches. And then we're going to go to the Broads, go for a few walks and things like that.
All I'm going to say, right, if you go to the coast, I assume you're going to be going close to Great Yarmouth.
Yeah, we probably will.
There's a lovely place called Hopton where you'll see the Seaside Squad, okay? And all I'm saying is you got to pop in and go meet, and you got to bring some memorabilia back from the Seaside Squad.
We're going to have a shrine to the Seaside Squad.
And I want the original Seaside Squad. None of these modern day people. I want the original Anxious the Elephant, original Rory the Tiger, original, who was the monkey again?
Greedy the Gorilla.
Greedy the Gorilla. I want the original Bradley Bear. That's your mission.
Is Haven international? Or is it just a UK thing?
I think just a UK thing.
They should make it international.
I think it is.
Really?
I want to go to Haven in Portugal.
So you would go to Haven, Portugal?
Absolutely.
Yeah, to be fair, I would.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
I'd love that. Well, enjoy the holiday. All I'm going to say is that there's someone in the room who really loves a bottle of port. That's all I'm going to say, right? And apparently, port comes from Portugal.
We're talking about you?
Yes.
There's 4 of us in the room. Someone here loves port. That's all I'm going to say. Well, I have just hinted there are 4 people in the room. We've heard from Megan. We've heard from Molly. There's one person we've not quite heard from yet, and I'd like to invite him to come sit in the hot seat very soon. We've got a great guest, been a friend of the business for a while, does some great work, and has also got a fantastic podcast that we should probably shout out as well, if that's okay. We didn't say it on camera, but we should probably give that a shout out. So we're going to do a bit of an awkward swap. I'd like to introduce to the podcast Jamie Pywell, the founder and managing director of MyPath. Jamie, come on over. Yeah.
It's one of those, isn't it?
I always have to check now. You're not asthmatic or anything. You're not going to suddenly collapse.
No,
But
I'm good.
With our last guest, I asked that, and the guest was like, "No, I'm absolutely fine."
Yeah.
About 10 minutes later, Megan couldn't breathe and had to leave the leave the studio. Had to leave the room. So. Thank you.
All good with
Good,
smoke. As
good.
much smoke as you want.
Well, thanks for coming on. I know you're only local to us anyway. How are you? You all good?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Yeah, very tired. I feel like working in education, we've just hit the summer holidays. So I am exhausted, but thankfully it is the summer holidays. So now I'm just looking after my own child instead of other people's, which is nice.
So you still get no rest?
Yeah, no rest at all.
Is
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
it. So, I mean, how does that work for you as a business? And I know we'll ask in a moment in terms of who MyPath are, what you do.
Yeah.
Are you having a down period now? Are you taking time off?
Yeah,
or?
so we've got multiple strands of the business. So we've got people that work in schools. Obviously, for them, they're term time, so they'd be off at this point. But then we've also got kind of a content side of the business. So you mentioned the podcast. We've also create resources, film volunteers, things like that. That kind of stuff ramps up over the summer. So we've just taken on a lovely little office in Wigston, although we were sad to stop using your wonderful space. But yeah, so we'll be doing loads of filming over the summer. So that kind of side of things ramps up. But the nice thing is nobody needs to be anywhere for any time, as in it's not a 9 o'clock start over the summer, which is lovely.
Lovely. So Jamie, thanks for joining us. Tell us a bit about MyPath. Tell us about who you are, what you do, and the journey, I guess, because everything I see, everything's going upwards for you.
Yeah. So we're a careers education company. We essentially create resources to make careers education more engaging for students. And we also deliver careers guidance and activities in schools across Leicestershire, Northamptonshire, and kind of across the Midlands. It started because I was working in a school. So I had the job of what's known as a careers leader. So that's like a kind of a middle management role, if you like, within a school. You are responsible for making sure the entire school is like making sure the learning links to careers education, make sure young people can kind of see the point in what they're doing, but also managing things like work experience, employers coming in, all of that kind of stuff. And I absolutely loved the job. A local school, it was Fulhurst in Braunston. Absolutely loved the job, loved the students, and worked with some amazing people when I was there. But we hit COVID and we got this kind of weird thing where careers education was kind of forgotten because we were just focusing on making sure they got their English and maths grades and they were getting ready for their GCSEs. So we were like handing out all of these opportunities, digital opportunities that we were getting sent around careers education. And I just felt that there was a real missing thing around engagement of young people. Being really honest, it was just that education was boring. It was just that the kids that were using these resources just didn't engage with them. They didn't like them. They didn't, to put it into perspective, there was 1,500 kids in that school. I'd send something out and get like 2 responses. And I would like to think I was quite popular in the school with students. So I'd like to think it wasn't just coffee breath and the other kind of teacher stereotypes. But so I just started creating my own kind of stuff. So we made something called Job of the Week. The first one I ever put out was just like a 2-minute video. It kind of looked like a TikTok video. It had like R&B music in the background, and sent it out to students with a follow-up question. So the job was a tattoo artist. The question was, do you think it's fair that on average a tattoo artist earns more than a nurse? And that was all the question was. So that was all the careers education thing I was asking.
Is that true statistic?
This is yeah. And what I found was all of a sudden I got like 300 to 400 of the students were coming back and giving an opinion. So it was like, oh wow, like being really honest, and I wouldn't say this to the students I was working with. I didn't care what their opinion was. I just wanted them to engage with it and think about it.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I went from like no engagement in careers through COVID to having like a decent proportion of kids coming back. Some would say this, they deserve it. They're really creative and they take a risk. Others would say not fair, nurses save lives, whatever. But we started to get to engagement. So I shared it at a best practice networking event with the local careers hub in Leicestershire. Just kind of shared what we were doing as something that seemed to work through COVID online. It kind of snowballed from there, really. A few schools at that meeting said, if you're making it, can we use it as well? We then put it onto like a Facebook page and whatever. And I found within, I think it was 3 months. I'm never 100% on this statistic. So bear with me on this one.
We won't test you, don't worry.
Yeah. Don't put it in any legal documents. But within about 3 months, I'd had about 1,000 secondary schools contact me asking whether they could use it. Which it was free and it was available. So they didn't even need to ask. It was just like, go and do it. Yeah. And all we'd done in that was kind of speak to a few schools, send a couple of emails to say we've got this thing to schools that we knew. And then it just snowballed from there. So from there it's developed. And 2.5 years ago now, 2 days before my little one was born, I left my job and went full time with the business, which was a scary time. I don't know why I decided to do it at that time frame. Probably because I get increased paternity, I suppose. But yeah, so left the business, and since then we've grown to a team of 12. So in the last 2 years, we've grown quite a lot. We're supporting now 1/3 of all secondary schools in the UK. We also have got kind of funding for 1/4 of all primary schools in the UK to have access to the platform as well. So it's been like a absolute rocket ship of a year, a roller coaster for a year as well. It doesn't always go smoothly, of course, but it's been really, really good. So that's a bit of an overview for you.
Nice.
I love that. And it's been so nice to see, because if memory serves me correct, and you might be able to correct me, I remember having a call with you very early on in the days of MyPath. I assume literally just as you were starting
I was still
out.
in the school.
And you were, I think the call was in your bedroom or a spare bedroom perhaps. And it's been great to see, you alluded to it earlier, you used our studio space and our creative space to bring the team over. And it was always I use the word delight. It sounds very wishy-washy, actually, but it was a delight. It was a lovely delight to see just like so many new faces coming to the business. And then to see now you got the new offices as well, which is an exciting step. Can I a bit of an off-the-cuff question? So many people now go hybrid, so many people now go virtual, and some people say that offices aren't needed. Why have you decided that an office is right for MyPath?
So I love working at home for productivity reasons, as in I feel like I get loads more done when I'm on my own. I can just put my music on, I can sit in silence, I can get stuff done. But I think that doesn't naturally lend itself well to the rest of the team, as in, I really struggled in the last kind of 6 months at understanding that things were happening that weren't happening in my spare bedroom, because the spare bedroom was where everything, I was doing everything. And then actually when I was looking at it, I was like, no, there's 3 members of staff out in schools, and there's another member of staff working on some amazing primary stuff. And, there's all this other stuff going on. So I think it's kind of given us a home. It's made us feel like we've got a place. It means that everyone's got that place they can go to. We're still not going to like full office. We're not expecting everyone to be in the office. Everyone will work from home most of the time. But it just gives us that ability to have a space that will bring people together all the time. Not only that, but we do a lot of content stuff, so a lot of filming. It makes sense to have a permanent setup, so we can just rock up, the cameras are already set up, and we can hit go and off we go, really. But for me, it's really important, I think, to get everybody together as much as you can for that. I mean, we were talking off camera earlier about the importance of like socialising in your team to be able
So we've got some people that just don't like socialising.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, don't want to name names,
Okay.
right? But there's 4 of us in the room, right? 3 of us love socialising.
Okay.
One person hates us.
Just doesn't like it.
Excuse me, that's not true.
Can I just say that was a very sassy up of your volume on the slider as well before you spoke? I like that.
We were open to hear your defence.
I've come to a lot of social events.
Okay,
So I
name
don't
them.
know.
I'm down.
I can't name them off my hand, but I do come to a lot of social events.
Okay.
I don't know why you don't think I'm not social.
I just don't think you like us.
Just because I've question marked Roxy.
Can you please unquestion mark it? Like exclamation mark it.
We've got, we're going to, have you ever been to Roxy Ballroom?
I've not, but I have seen it advertised a lot.
Okay.
It's
yeah.
really good. Yeah, it's really, really good, really fun. Everyone has so much fun whenever they go there.
Are you on commission for Roxy?
I think I should be.
Yeah.
The thing is, although this is really nice and we're trying to bring Molly out, part of me feels a bit hurt by this, because at the minute it's basically me, Megan, and Veronica in the team.
Yeah.
And I'm now thinking that Megan doesn't want to spend time with me, and so she's trying to now get Molly out. I feel like
I just feel like 4 is better than 3.
yeah, it's going to be a weird dynamic.
Plus, I've
if we
seen
just-
you and Veronica drink, and I don't want to be like the responsible sober one in this situation.
Hold on.
I don't think you're going to be sober though.
Hold on.
Compared to Rob and Veronica.
I'd like to bring back some memories of the Wild West night we went to. You were down in them like an old scootin' tootin' Western. You were. There was a bar and they were proper sliding whiskey shots. They weren't really. All I'll say on that is, I said, shall we leave or shall we have a quick small one? And Megan was like, no, I definitely want a quick small one.
I said, no, you decide. And then you said, well, shall we have one and then we can go? And I said, yeah, okay.
Okay, fair. But yeah,
I actually can come next week.
Oh, there we go.
We have it now.
It's 31st, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Peer pressure. Can you put it in the group, please? That'd be great. But yeah, I think socialising is so
Back to,
important as a team, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your team dynamic like? Because
yeah, so we've got people spread out everywhere, really. So I'm based in kind of Leicestershire, but then we've got people in Nottingham, Birmingham, London. I think majority are kind of Leicestershire-ish, but a bit of a spread. So it's really hard to get everyone together because we don't work in an office like you guys do. We don't have that day-to-day conversation. And I think one thing that we're all kind of cautious of is that you then start to work in silos. Like there's no reason for this person to ever come into contact with that person.
Yeah.
So doing things socially makes everyone kind of a bit more joined up, I think. We're a bit more tame with our socials, I think. So we've got a social, when are we doing it? A couple of weeks' time? I don't know when this will be aired, but a couple of weeks' time. So we're doing a nice long walk out to Foxton Locks, and then a bit of a piss up at Foxton Locks before heading back and making pizzas at my house, which
I love
nice.
that. That'd be really nice.
Because it's only 12, it's easy to keep it tight.
But that kind of thing, I think, is so important.
Yeah.
Like, I know we talk and we're talking off camera about drinking and so on, but I think just doing anything. I'd love to go on a run with someone in the team. Like, I'd love to go on a walk. I'd love to just even. To be fair, I do think what we do really well, I think, for the majority of times, like even like we make sure we have our lunches together. So we don't allow eating at the desk. Right, big no from me. I hate it for a variety of reasons. But the idea is everyone in the business breaks at 12:30. We have lunch together. And on a nice sunny day, we can go sit out on the green over the road and have a nice picnic, which is nice. But like I say, it's been great to see the journey of MyPath and your journey as well. And I think I'm saying this not to blow smoke anywhere, because we've already had enough of that. But you've done it in a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Dignified way. You've done it in a very dignified manner. I don't think, you've not been overly arrogant with it from what I've seen and heard. And one thing, can I ask, obviously, so you came up with this idea whilst you were still teaching, whilst you were still in school. And then there's obviously that time where you go, actually, hold on, there's probably a business here. There's some kind of thing here. Were you ever led by money on that, or was it just about solving that problem?
I think it was led by money. So I mean, how deep do we go now, right? So it was a little bit led by money. So at some point, the money was greater outside of work than it was inside of work. So then it made natural sense to look at that from a financial point of view. I think there was also the fact that we were expecting our first child. I sounded like I was going to cry then. I wasn't going to cry. I promise.
You can if you want.
You've not got any tissues. What kind of podcast is that? Anything for views. But we were also expecting our first child. So that also felt like a great time to give myself some more flexibility. There was kind of other things as well. So at the time, I felt like within the school I was working with, I'd done what I was there to do, and I didn't necessarily think I was going to take that much further. I was in a supporting thing. And just get the record straight as well, I was never a teacher, so I wasn't.
Apologies.
Let's make sure that stays off of my personal brand forever. I was never a teacher. But yeah, so there was a few reasons, and I think the money thing did go into it as well. There was also, so just before I handed my notice in, I'd got an office in Ayleston, but I was still working in the school. So I was going into the office at I'm a bit of a workaholic. So 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I was getting into the office and I was bashing through a load of work for 3 hours, then cycling to work, then doing my day's work, and then going back to the office and working again until kind of 9, 10 o'clock before having a child. My other half was wicked. She'd come down to the office. There was times that she'd sit in the office with me and work on a resource. So it wasn't affecting us in that way. But after about 6 months of doing that, I got really ill. I just burnt out completely. And weirdly, it led to a seizure, which I'd never had in my whole life. So I was kind of I can't do both things at the same, I need to focus my energy. So yeah, that was kind of the tipping point, I think, for me to really start thinking, I've got to let this go.
Yeah.
I don't need to be doing 20-hour days. That's not a necessary thing anymore. So yeah.
Love that. Well, I want to dive deeper into that, because there's some things that you said in there, and I want to kind of explore. I want to explore your partner a little bit. No, I don't want to explore your partner. I want to ask some questions around that flip into entrepreneurship with a partner, because I think there's so many caveats to that. But I'm conscious. How are we doing for time? We've got 5 minutes, so we'll quickly play the first game of the session.
We've got about 3 or 4 minutes.
3 or 4 minutes. 4 minutes. We'll quickly play Icky Linky. So you said that you saw Icky Linky. You like the idea of Icky Linky, right?
I did see one of these. Yeah, I do like it.
Okay.
I do like it.
Great. So yeah, just so everyone's aware, the intention is I hunt down a potential real LinkedIn post, or I make up a LinkedIn post. Then that LinkedIn post is supposed to give you the ick, right? It's supposed to be a bit weird, right? Make you feel a bit icky. You've just got to decide whether it's true or false. So last week, I read out this LinkedIn post that said, 11 p.m. in the night, I proudly placed another trophy on the shelf. Phone rang. It was a friend from opposite building. He yelled, "Get out! There is a fire in your building." I left with my wife, wallet, and phone, not trophies. I did not want my past #achievements to be my #baggage. #HR. I'll put it to you. Do you think that's a true story, or do you think I made that up?
I don't know. I've seen lots that look like this on LinkedIn. This is a common thing, and these icky things. I'm going to say that one's made up.
You think that's made up? Well, Molly also believes that was a made-up story, and Megan was the only person to say that was a true story. And I can proudly reveal that Megan is correct. That was a true LinkedIn post.
I'm so good at this.
That was a true LinkedIn post. So, Jamie, right, get your brain in motion. I'm going to read out this week. So you've got to tell me if this is a true story or a made-up one, and we'll reveal the answer next week. Here we go. This morning, I burnt my toast. Black, charred, useless. Just like some of the business partnerships I've made. But instead of complaining, I ate it anyway. Because winners don't wait for perfect conditions. They adapt, they execute, they move forward. Business isn't always buttered and golden. Sometimes it's dry, overcooked, and bitter. But you eat it anyway. Don't let burnt toast ruin your morning. Don't let minor setbacks burn your momentum. Stay hungry, stay humble, stay toasty. Hashtag business mindset. Hashtag burnt but not broken. Hashtag resilience. Do we think this is a true story or a false story? Megan, I'll ask the question to you first because you giggled at that one.
It was just funny.
Do you not think that's
like
true?
The stretch you're going to, you're that desperate for a LinkedIn post that you've burnt your toast in the morning. You thought, yeah, I can write something about this. That's crazy.
Have you ever done anything in your personal life and you've gone, I could turn that into a LinkedIn post?
No.
Have you not? Do you do that now? 'Cause you're on LinkedIn, right?
I'm on LinkedIn, yeah. I struggle with the making connections between just abstract things. Like, but you do see it all the time, don't you? Like,
yeah. What have we learned from this? Molly, what do you think about this post?
I think it's false.
You think it's false? Sorry, can I have a pen? I don't think I've given myself a pen.
There's one on the bookshelf.
Oh, is it? Lovely, thank you. So you think this is a false story? Why do you think this is a false story, Mol?
It's just a bit cringe. I mean, I know that a lot of them are, but I don't know.
I think the hashtags are just... The hashtag sounds like AI.
Stay toasty for me. That's
stay toasty. And then hashtag
toasty.
burnt but not broken.
Burnt but not broken. Who's putting that?
Again, we don't. I can't answer these questions for you.
Yeah, I'm putting false.
So Molly's saying false. Megan, what are you thinking?
I don't know. I feel quite stressed because I feel like I'm on a really good streak with these icky linkies. Like I've been doing well. I don't want to ruin it now.
One thing that you'll notice is that Megan is perhaps one of the most competitive people
okay.
right, I've ever met. You can come into we could be in this situation, right?
Yeah.
And she'll be sat there, a bit lethargic, a bit like chilled out, a bit blasé, you know, a bit la-di-da, right? The second you go, right, we're going to do a competition. She is on the edge of her seat. She does this thing as well. I don't know if she's picked up on this. She does this thing where she never sits normally, right? But she'll sit. This is how, when it gets competitive, this is Megan's competitive pose, right? So already I can sense the competitive edge with Megan in this. Yeah. So hold on your answer then, Jamie. What do you think? You think it's a true story or a false story?
I'm going to say... I'm just going to go against what I said last time and say it's true.
You think it's a true...
These are really hard to tell, aren't they?
They're hard. I feel like some of them are easier than others. This one I think is quite hard. I'm going to go true.
You're going to go true story. So Molly thinks false, Megan thinks true, and Jamie thinks true as well. Well, I'm not going to tell you the answer today. We're going to wait till next week's episode where the answer will be revealed. So you got to tune in next week
sure I do.
as well and stay tuned. But hold fire. Don't go anywhere. We're going to play some more games and learn a bit more about Jamie after these very short messages.
Rob, what are you doing?
Oh, playing golf this afternoon, Megan.
Aren't you a really busy, important businessman?
I am really busy. I've got so much to do. I'm still going to play golf this afternoon.
How?
Well, one of the things that business owners get caught up in is bookkeeping and simple bookkeeping tasks. But I work smart. I use Xero accounting software.
What, Xero?
Well, Megan, Xero is a highly intuitive piece of software, cloud-based, that allows you to send invoices, keep on top of your bookkeeping, and ultimately helps you run the finance of your business at a click of a button.
Wow, that sounds really good.
Do you know what? It's really good. And one of the things that I absolutely love is all of the reports. I can look at my profit and loss in the click of a finger. And what that means is that most important part of the business, some would say the most boring part, the accounts, invoicing, chasing invoices, it's done for me, which frees up my time.
Wow, I think every business owner should have that.
Do you know what? I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. The more people can get on the golf course, the better. And listen, We have just partnered Xero. And that means that any business owner listening to this podcast can get
50% off for 3 months.
just by clicking the link in the comments or the show notes below.
That's amazing.
Do you know what? It is fantastic. So listen, if you are, for any business owner out there that wants to be on the golf course, that wants to get out there, have some fun, all they've got to do, click that link, try Xero for next to nothing and see how it changes their life.
Welcome back to How I Failed in Business. Is everyone okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
good, thank you.
All good.
Perfect.
Good.
So Jamie, you just want to ask a little bit more about your journey into entrepreneurship. I can't pronounce things.
Are you okay today?
No, are you okay today? Entrepreneurship, sort of individually, and then also, as Rob said, how that sort of affects like being with a partner at that time as well.
I've always had like a desire to do something a little bit entrepreneurial, and again, we were talking off camera, but always kind of had the idea to do something. I've had a few little like ventures like growing up, most of which were just tragic failures, which is suitable for the podcast, I suppose. But the first one, the first ever like business that I had was running a disco in like local pubs in the village. Yeah, very, very cool. And at like 13 years old, so my dad was a regular in the local pubs in Council, so literally around this area. And we went into King Bill, which is now the Tesco Express.
Now,
yeah. I think it was roughly on the bread aisle that this started. But yeah, so we essentially there was just a really shit disco in there. It was like awful. It was like it used to be. Were you in the village at the time when that was King Bill? Yeah. So it was a proper like old man's boozer. It wasn't a fun boozer. It was like a proper old man's pub. And they had this disco, and it was just shocking. It was like dull and boring, and like it just felt really old, and yeah, it was just gross. And I remember speaking to my dad and saying like, "This is boring. Can we go somewhere else?" And he said to me, he's not a business person himself. He's always been employed rather than he's always had little side things, but he's not a business person per se. But he said to me, go and ask the landlord, who we knew, Richard at the time, how much he's paid for the disco. And I was like, I can't ask that. I'm 13 years old. I can't ask a question about how much he's paying somebody. But I did anyway, and went and asked, and they said it was about 500 quid. So I went back to my dad and I was like, they said it's about 500 quid. And my dad was like, okay, ask him if he'll let us do next week's for £300. So I went over and was like, could we do it next week for £300? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. If it's better than this and it's cheaper, then absolutely wicked. And then I remember going back to my dad and being like, yeah, we can do it. And then being like, but we haven't got any equipment, or I don't know how to DJ, or none of those kind of skills or whatever. And my dad said, well, get the £300 in advance. We'll go to what was it called? It was like an old electronics store. Maplin.
Maplin
was a beast of a place. We went to Maplin and bought this really cheap, shitty disco setup, and started doing that. And like we were doing it on a Friday night for 300 quid. And then there was another pub in the village called the Bull's Head, and they got really annoyed that some of the clientele were going down to the King Bill on Friday nights. So they then booked us on Saturday night. So we would like alternate in. So like 13 and a half years old, it was like 300 quid on a Friday night, which just felt enormous. Splitting it with my dad, who just spent it on beer money, I think. But yeah, it felt like an enormous amount of money. So that was kind of like my first.
Oh, at that age, it would have been.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I've earned less since in other jobs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean?
So just
before we move on, can I ask, right? Discos, DJs, what are your top 3 songs? If I booked you for a DJ now, what were the top 3 songs that are guaranteed to get people on the dance floor?
I mean, it's been a long, long time, and my knowledge of popular music is poor at this
I
stage.
want to hear it, though. I want to hear it.
Depends what it is. If it's like our generation, we're very similar in age.
No, we're going to keep it open, right? So we've booked you for Haven Hopton, right? Haven Holidays, right? You're there. You've got all the thing is Haven's tough because you got the grandmas, you got the mums, you got the daughters, everyone. You got every age group.
There's some classics, isn't there? There's things like Mr. Brightside, which are just kind of unilaterally good party starters.
Okay.
You've got your real like old school disco things, haven't you? Like your YMCA's and your all of that kind of. But it depends on the party. But then if you were doing it for like a younger crowd, there's a song that my little boy, he's only 2.5, he goes mad for, APT by Bruno Mars.
Oh God, yeah.
He loves it.
That song gives me a headache.
Oh, it winds me up. It winds me up so much. But literally, we put it on and he runs around the dining table, just does loops. Yeah, he thinks it's amazing. So I imagine that's probably a song for young kids that they love. I don't know. So yeah, it depends on the party.
What do you go for?
What I go for? It is a hard question. If I was doing it for like, we're keeping it open, we're keeping it broad.
Yeah,
one song for each. So a song for kids, a song for
Okay, yeah.
Okay. What's this? It's not Mr. Brightside, but it's like similar vibes.
That narrows it down.
No, it's
Sorry,
like
I know exactly the one that you mean. Sorry.
Another one. It's like, oh no, you said you don't like it before. Wonderwall.
Yeah.
That's another one. It's like similar to Mr. Brightside.
Yeah,
like
right,
it's gonna get people going. It's gonna get people hyped. I know you don't like it. What's wrong with that song? It's a good song.
I just think Oasis are the most overrated band in the world.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry to say.
No, they're good.
I'm willing to accept the hate. I'm willing to accept the fights. I think they are overrated.
No. Obviously I have to have Taylor Swift in there somewhere.
Obs.
But like more of an upbeat one. But not like the generic like Shake It Off or anything like that. An upbeat Taylor song.
Okay.
Like
22?
Potentially. Yeah, 22 is a good one. Maybe I'd go for Shake It Off for the kids actually.
Shake It Off, okay.
Shake It Off's a popular one at dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Are they your three?
I'm not happy with my
Shake
decision.
It Off twice back to back.
Yeah.
No, 22 and Shake It Off. I'm
Okay.
not happy.
Oh.
I'm not completely happy with my like middle decision.
Yeah.
I'm not completely happy with 22, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Okay.
I can see what you mean about the competitive thing. Serious.
Yeah.
Real deep thought.
She's not fully there because she's sat normally.
Okay.
Right. We know that if the legs move. See, I think you're both missing a trick, right? I think society declined, and I think we started to go backwards as society. Well, after two major key events, right? One, taking toys out of cereal. I think that was a big caveat to change in the world. But secondly, when we stopped making songs that we designed to dance together. So I would straight away to get people on that dance floor Saturday night. As soon as you hear that, Saturday night, you know the song?
Yeah,
do you know the one?
Yeah.
Followed by Cha-Cha Slide. You can't have a party without Cha-Cha Slide. And then I'd whip in there just for good luck. The Macarena. Love the Macarena.
You're such a middle-aged white man. It's actually unbelievable. I don't.
Give me those. Give me a bit of YMCA in there.
Can I just ask, is this why you're struggling to get your team to socialise?
Yeah.
Every time they see you, it's Macarena, Cha-Cha Slide,
Rob's
Saturday
doing the
night.
Macarena again. He's out there.
Rob, I'm trying to make a call.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I don't have a future career as a DJ.
I don't think
perhaps.
you do.
They're classics, though.
They
work.
They are
work.
classics.
Yeah.
They are classics.
I think the thing was you just had to sell your soul and accept that you were playing music for other people, not for yourself.
But this is the thing. I think you've got to remember you got to play to the audience, haven't you? You know, you got to play to what's out there. I think. Look, she's still thinking. She's like, hold on.
I'm not happy with my decision. I feel like I've let myself down. Like my music taste is better than this.
It's final. It's final. I'm afraid. So you had this sort of entrepreneurship. You started to see the £300 come through. I guess on the old ruffled £10 and £20 notes come through. You said that then failed. Is that right?
Well, it didn't fail. It just, I think as soon as I got to, I don't know, 16, 17 and people start having house parties, I was thinking I'm missing all of them because I'm playing in pubs that I don't really want to be in with people that I didn't necessarily want to be playing to. So I kind of stopped it because my motivation was different. I wanted to be at the party and I'm, spending the money, not necessarily earning it. So that was like the first entrepreneurial journey, I suppose.
And then I think you said off camera, you've also tried you had Blackheart Clothing.
Yeah, Blackheart Vintage, which was a vintage clothing company. So we were buying and selling vintage clothes. It was a really cool business and really like fun to do. It was completely on my own. It was after coming back from some travelling. I took over a spare bedroom in my parents' house at like 20 years old and made it into like a warehouse of clothes, I suppose. It was great and I loved getting the stuff myself, although I don't dress like it now. I loved vintage clothing back in the day. Yeah. Quirky shirts and stuff like that was like absolutely my bag. So I absolutely loved it. But I designed it to be kind of cheap and for students, so it was like accessible, kind of rewriting the narrative of like expensive vintage clothes, which was a cool USP, and I think people liked it. But it meant that to actually make enough money to survive, I probably had to sell like, I don't know, 700 things a week. Which meant that at the time I wasn't driving, so I was carrying like hundreds of parcels to the post office. So quite quickly I got to a point where I was like, I'd set that up wrong and maybe I should have done that in a different way. So it kind of failed just by the basic principle of what we were trying to do. We were trying to do something that was nice and it sounded good, but just didn't really work as a business model, which was loads of cheap sales. But
I guess for me that's not a failure, that's a lesson, isn't it? Because there's always that argument between, stack them high, sell them cheap, kind of thing,
Yeah,
or higher premium. And I think because like now, like vintage is all the rage, and you can go to like those vintage pop-ups where, you know, it's like, I don't know, 50p for a kilo of clothes or whatever.
I love them.
Yes, I've been to a few there. But the thing is, you soon realise actually how heavy clothes are. You go, 50p for a kilo or whatever the pricing is, and then you go, oh, actually, hold on, I've got like £27 worth of clothing. I've got 2 jumpers. Like
my hack is there's like a box with like random pieces of like cloth, right?
Right.
I bought loads of them at one time, and then you turn them into tops. Like a little like bandeau top.
Okay.
So you just like fold and then tie. And that's how, because when I'm going on holiday, I've got like very limited baggage space. I've just taken like 3 bandanas, like big, I don't know, like I guess bandanas.
Okay.
They're like large bandanas, and I've made them into tops.
I didn't know that about you.
Very crafty.
Well,
Yeah,
can we see?
crafty,
Can you bring one in? Can you make one for me and Molly? Not to wear at the same time, like one each.
Yeah. But I don't know if I've got any patterns that would suit.
Oh, okay.
I've not got any blue to make your eyes pop, you know what I mean?
I knew you'd bring it. But yeah, like, but then obviously for your situation where you're having to go to the post office every day and so on, like you say, you got to have those margins there. So would you say that's more, you know, did that help you with MyPath, do you think, in like understanding your margins a bit better? Or
I think it probably did in understanding margins, but more so like the kind of building a brand bit of it was the lesson learned, I think, was understanding the like how to get a bit of a social following, how to work with. So we did a lot of like influencer marketing, that kind of stuff. It helped to build those skills. But not that there's any direct correlation between the two businesses. They're so different in what we were trying to achieve, as is the disco. So yeah.
I love that kind of thing. Because I used to buy and sell like vintage art, antiques and all sorts, and I've still got that like flipper mentality in me. I was in a charity shop in Rothley not too long ago, and I saw a Leicester Tigers shirt, and they only wanted a £5 for it. It was pristine. I was like, without even checking, I was like, I can get money for that. Bought it for £5, sold it on Vinted for 30 quid. Fucking there we go. 25 quid. What are you laughing at?
Funny.
It's more money I'm making a day these days. Do you know what I mean? I've got overheads to pay. 25 quid keeps me from the bread line. But I love that. And then also, because you said you travel, you spent some time in India? Is that right?
So me and a good friend of mine called Gav, we decided we wanted to take some time out of work and go and do some volunteering. So I looked at doing something in education just because I thought I might enjoy it. At this point, I wasn't in the education space, but decided I wanted to go and do something in education. And I found that like I could pay to go and like teach English in a foreign country. So you pay like $2,000, they sort out your accommodation, you go teach some kids and whatever, which sounded really nice. But then like the more we looked into it, the more it became like, actually, this is really unethical. Like because we weren't qualified teachers, we weren't allowed to teach in the UK. So we weren't allowed to teach kids in like a school near us, but we could pay to go and do it there. So then we just kind of started experimenting with it a little bit. And I looked at marine biology. So I know nothing about marine biology.
Right.
I was going to give an example then, but I actually can't think of 2 fish to compare. But I would be an awful marine biologist, but I could pay £2,000 to go and be a marine biologist in the Philippines, for example. Okay. So we did some research into it, and like we were looking and we were hearing all of these anecdotal things about, so for example, with the marine biology one, there's a really adverse effect to these people that are trying to go out and like do marine biology, because they go and do conservation stuff. So they go and do like reef counting, for example. But when they go do reef counting, if you get too close to a reef, you kill the reef. Right. So these people are like paying to go and help help with the marine life, but then they're actually killing the marine life that they're trying to help.
Sure.
And I heard of one absolutely wild story of a private school in England that have got a partnership with a school in South Africa. Every year their kids go over and build a classroom. Which sounds lovely, and it sounds like a great thing to do for these privileged kids to go and do something really nice in South Africa. But when we actually looked into it, the bit that wasn't explained was the South African school was a private school that was higher fee paying than the English school, which immediately makes you like, what is going on? That doesn't sound right. And the second thing was, because the kids weren't qualified in building and wouldn't meet building regs, every night once they built up, so say they built from there to there, a building company would come in, knock it down and build it back up. So it was just like a complete waste of time, just a CV exercise. So we basically decided we wanted to do something about it and do something different. So we started a charity called 1 Year Gift, which was basically you had to give up a whole year. So you couldn't do like a short 2-week block. You had to go for a whole year, and you had to be qualified for the position you were going for. So we started with education. So qualified educators go in and working for a year in the Dharavi slums in India. teaching over there. So the idea was great, or it seemed to be a good idea. Loads of hiccups though around like health and safety of getting people out to live in a slum. You know, it's wild, the stuff to deal with, and just loads of hiccups along the way as well. So we offered this thing where we'd fund people to go and do it, and we raised a load of money to do that. But we found, so we were trying to work out why people were wanting to volunteer. So we came to the conclusion that a lot of people wanted to do it basically for their Instagram or their Facebook or like to look good. So we asked, I think at one point, and I can't remember exactly the numbers, but I think we got about 700 people that were signed up to go and do this. And we put something out to say that basically one of the terms of it being funded was that you weren't allowed to post anything. So you weren't allowed to put pictures on Facebook or Instagram. You weren't allowed to share anything. You could speak to family, you could send photos to family, but not anything public. Out of the 700, how many would you guess decided they didn't want to go?
I think it's really high.
I'm going to say like literally 600.
Yeah, I'd say
it was about 685.
Wow.
We ended up with this tiny group of people that were like, yeah, we just want to go and do it for impact. So there was loads of things that made us question what we were doing. And then we went out and spent some time in India, and we met some amazing people, some amazing schools, some amazing charities, but also some wild things as well, like schools that are funded by opium farmers and, you know, like really weird setups. So we were like, we are not ready to tackle all of this kind of stuff. So yeah, that kind of came to an abrupt stop when we were like, we got back from India and we were like, it's kind of too big without having some private funding or whatever. We weren't in a position to know how to do that at that stage. So, so that was another hard stop.
But I think like one thing I've come to, I'll use the word love. I'm not coming on to you or anything, but like one thing I've come to love about you is
I'm not coming to your social. If that's what you're trying to do.
just come and hang out with me, please. You're a problem solver. Like if you look at everything that you've said there, obviously you're setting up. You set up the charity because you saw that other people were doing things a bit weirdly, a bit differently, a bit wrong. You know, the vintage clothing, you wanted to make vintage clothing more accessible for the younger generation. You set up jamiesdiscos.com because you wanted to do a better job than what the other people were doing. And you set up MyPath and founded MyPath because you wanted to provide better, you know, careers education to young people. Am I wrong in what I'm saying there?
No, I think so in my teenage years, I played in like punk and rock bands. So I think I was naturally like anti the system. You know, like I just wanted to do things differently. Everything's wrong. Tear it up and start again. Yeah, exactly. Like, who's the man? But yeah, so I think there is a bit of that. It was like looking at things and like, how can we do it differently? How can we change it? How can we shake it up? How can we make it different? So yeah, you're probably right. That was kind of the motivation, I think, for a lot of those things. Which
I always think is great. I generally think that, like, for me, that's the key definition to entrepreneurship. I think entrepreneurs who chase money, push money away. I think entrepreneurs who solve problems and then monetize that solution are the ones that go on to do well, in my opinion. I think so. No, fair play. And
it's interesting because MyPath is the first business. Obviously the 1 year gift as a charity was different, but everything else that I've ever done in that entrepreneurial space was just very like, how can I make some money doing something that I can do? Whereas MyPath has been very different, where it's been, I'm going to do something for a positive for other people, and then it's naturally kind of taken over, taken off. Obviously there's hard work still, but it wasn't intended to be a business. So to be in the position where we are now is amazing. You know, it feels incredible that that's even happened. So I think it is that purpose driven thing that's got somewhere, without sounding too sickly and
no, I'm just going to add that to next week's Icky Linky. So just say that again.
When I buttered my toe.
Just quickly, you mentioned earlier obviously how wonderful your partner's been, and obviously please do clip this up and send this on to her, because I'm sure it'll win you some brownie points. But when you are in business, how important is it to have someone sort of by your side, understanding the trials, the tribulations, the highs, the lows that you're going through?
Yeah, I think it's massively important. Hannah, my other half, is absolutely wicked.
Hi, Hannah.
Hi, Hannah. Yeah, if you're watching, she won't be.
Send this on to her. Send this on.
No, but she's absolutely wicked. I mean, she's always been employed. She's not got that entrepreneurial thing at all. So it is hard sometimes, I think, to understand, like, why are you working at 9 o'clock? Like, and we have this conversation sometimes where I'm like, but this bit doesn't feel like work to me. I'm sure you get this. This bit is just building the thing. You know, I'm just doing the fun bit now. And it becomes your hobby as well as your work. And that's really sad. And you're looking at me as if to be like, but that, I think that's quite difficult. But I think the bigger picture of it it's been really important to have her there to be able to support with doing that, the long hours, the, you know, putting in the extra effort, the making, sometimes the business bit comes first. And I think there's a cut off, and you're just about to have are we allowed to say you're having a child?
Yeah. Well, by the time this episode comes out, baby's here. So
yeah, okay,
hi, baby.
Fine.
Yeah,
this baby is here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's like I had a hard thing when I first started, when baby was here, Lando, my little boy, where I was like on my phone a lot. And I remember there was one conversation, like Hannah was good at keeping me in check as well as supporting me. So there's one conversation where she was like, you need to be like a little bit more present, because you're here but you're not really here. You know, like you're in the room but you're on your phone, you're not necessarily in the moment. And I took that on, and that's something that I've massively worked on. So I'll like set my phone to a focus mode so that there's no interactions and no LinkedIn and no whatever. So I think it's difficult. It's something to manage, right? But having somebody next to you that's able to support you with that, massively important.
So so important. Well, thank you for sharing that. We're going to take a very, very quick break just to get the set all ready.
Yeah.
It'll take a quick 2 seconds just to get the set ready for Mystery Mishaps. Are you ready to play the game?
I am.
Are you excited?
Very excited.
Great stuff. So sit tight. Let's pause the camera a second. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Megan, and this is Rob, and welcome to Paragon Creative Studios right here in Leicestershire.
We've got 2 fully equipped podcast studios, ideal for any form of podcast, whether you're looking to record something audio only or video podcasts as well.
From solo shows to group discussions, any topic, any vibe, we've got the setup to help your podcast shine.
Want to take charge? You can record and self-produce using our high-tech equipment.
Or if you'd rather sit back, our expert team can help out with everything, from production, filming, editing, and even marketing your podcast to the world.
So whether you're a seasoned podcasting pro or just starting out, Paragon Creative Studios are here to help.
So come join us in Leicestershire and book your session today at paragoncreativestudios.com.
Welcome back to How I Failed in Business, joined by Jamie Pywell, the founder and managing director of MyPath. Just before we wrap up, we've got to play our final game of the session, Mystery Mishaps. Do you like quizzes? Do you like games? Do you like...
I do, but I'm not naturally very good at them.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see. A leaderboard scares me a little bit, because I never thought I'd say this. I fear I'll be somewhere on Taylor Swift's leg.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever a fear for anyone. But you are right. For those listening over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, do check out us over on YouTube, because you'll see the Taylor Time Tracker, the TTT, as we call it, because it reminds us that we've got to do things swiftly.
Okay.
See, honestly, sometimes I amaze myself. So this is the Taylor Time Tracker. Every week we play Mystery Mishaps with our wonderful guests. And the game is really simple. We're going to ask you, or Megan will ask you, 5 clues about a business, a brand, a product, a service that went horribly wrong. It could be severe, they went completely bust and went out of the market, or it could just be they hit some financial hardship and everything else in between. All we ask you is to guess who that company or brand is. Okay. And we want you to do it as quickly as possible. So on the leaderboard, you'll see that Rosanna, a guest from a few weeks ago, is leading the way at 7.9 seconds. And there's no fixing in this. Molly's currently second on 11 seconds. And it flows all the way down through our lovely guests. We've got Laura Till, Nim Pancholi, Pete Martin, myself, Megan, and Anthony Hutton. So you think you might be a bit further down on this?
Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I know Pete, actually. He was my first guitar teacher.
Was he?
Yeah,
he's a multi-talented guy.
I'm hoping I'm not going beyond 2 minutes 50, but let's see.
You'll be fine, because these clues are so bait yet again.
Do you think? I even took stuff out to try and make it harder.
I will see.
There was some wording in it. So Rosanna did a great job, right? Rosanna, a guest from a few weeks ago, did a great job. But I did a bit of a boo-boo. I literally gave away the answer in clue 1, and that's why she got it so quick. So I thought I'd tone these down.
I think the first one's quite, like...
I'm happy for you to change some of that wording.
I'm not. Make it nice and easy.
I think it's this bit that's going to give it away. So I think this sort of clue should be like, maybe that.
I'm happy for you to move those around.
So, hold on, let me...
Okay, whilst you have a look, let me take a little photo of you, Jamie. Beautiful. Loved the pose as well. So we'll allow that to develop. Megan, are you ready with the questions?
I'm going to keep it in the same order.
Are you sure?
I don't mean it doesn't,
Maybe take out that word.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or just take out that whole phrase and just stick with that.
Then that is too hard. Or then like add this in as like an extra little clue.
Extra clue later on, maybe.
Okay.
Am I to just shout out answers?
Yeah.
You get one guess every
After a
clue.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Oh, look, here we go. Competitive edge on.
Competitive's coming.
She's right. Competitive legs here. Right. Here
And
we
before we start this game, I'd just like to change my answer. I'd like to add in an ABBA song to my DJ set.
Yeah,
I
you
think, like,
can't miss out ABBA. Which
like,
one though?
Like a Super Trooper sort of vibe.
Super Trooper. That's the worst.
No, it's not.
Super Trooper. No, you need like.
No, but not the Alec the Mamma Mia version.
You need like
of
gimme,
it.
gimme, gimme. You
Oh,
need,
maybe.
oh yeah.
No, I think
Gimme.
what's wrong with Super Trooper? I like that one.
It's just not a very
Okay,
go-getter,
gimme,
is it?
gimme then.
Are you?
Sorry.
No,
That's
you keep
fair. Are you? You got the timer ready? Is
Nice.
music playing? Lovely. Molly is in hyper like multitasking mode today. She's doing like 27
She's
things.
doing a lot. Okay,
Right, Jamie, are you
ready.
comfortable?
Ready.
Timer ready? Megan, over to you.
Okay. This company was founded in 2007 in Scotland. Full stop.
That's where you're leaving that clue.
Yeah.
Okay. Any clues? Any guesses?
Scottish Bank.
No. It quickly became known for its craft beers and unconventional marketing.
Brewdog.
I told you, Bob. I told you. I told you. I told you. I don't want to say I told you, but I told you.
I mean, I'm happy to take that.
So, well, no. What we shouldn't be sore losers. We should be grateful and complimentary that Jamie is so knowledgeable
Well
on
done.
this. Well, Jamie,
Jamie.
well done.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
I'm
Keep
very
it,
proud.
keep Molly.
Do you want to read out the other clues? And then I'll read out what actually happened.
Other clues were it launched a crowdfunding campaign allowing fans to buy shares in the company. In 2021, former employees published an open letter accusing the company of fostering a toxic work environment. The company lost its B Corporation certification. That's a mouthful. B Corporation certification in 2022 due to concerns over its workplace culture. And in 2025, the company announced the closure of several bars across the UK, citing financial challenges.
There you go. So why did you guess that so quickly? Was it the craft beers and the
Craft beer.
It was
Yeah,
the
craft
craft beer.
Yeah, and that was actually supposed to be in clue
That
one.
was the whole
really?
clue
So,
one was
yeah.
the company was founded in 2007 in Scotland and quickly became known for its craft beers and unconventional marketing. Like
Yeah.
that was too much. That was
Maybe
too much
we
information.
need to work on this. But obviously, well done and full credit.
Yeah.
So Brewdog, founded in 2007 in Scotland, quickly rose to fame with its craft beer and edgy marketing. However, in recent years, the company has faced multiple controversies, including allegations of a toxic work culture, leading to the loss of its B Corporation certification. And in 2025, Brewdog announced the closure of several bars across the UK due to financial challenges. And we can't forget those massive HR claims.
That summary is all the clues squished together.
I've just realised that as I read them out. But yes, yeah. Are you a Brewdog fan? Do you like the?
I used to love Brewdog. I used to love Brewdog, particularly when they opened the bar in Leicester. I thought they were really
Yes,
good.
yeah.
I kind of went off like it. It felt like a really edgy thing that then sold out.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
lose your edgy crowd, but you also your mainstream crowd are not that interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting one, Brewdog.
It's kind of lost their way a little bit. When we go back to targeting and where you're targeting, like you said, they went from the punk rock, band members against the man XYZ.
Yeah.
It's then gone full circle to big corporation and
The interesting one I think now is Liquid Death.
the
You've seen
water.
those, the water.
Yeah.
That's such a strange brand.
But apparently that's fallen off the face of the earth again.
Oh, has it?
Apparently, yeah.
So they were like sponsoring loads of metal festivals.
Yeah. I believe there was a massive hype. Stocks and shares went up, and then it's just kind of hit mediocre. Like, I guess similar to like Prime, the energy drink. Massive spike and a massive come down. So yeah, Brewdog was the answer. So well done, and
Well
Megan, I
done.
apologise for making the answers.
I'm glad it was easy.
It
I was nervous.
It was an easy one. Molly, what were the scores on the doors?
A very good time. Yes, very good time. I can reveal that Jamie got the answer in 17 seconds.
17
Ooh.
So I think that's fourth.
seconds. Third. Jamie,
Wait.
you are third.
What did...
Oh. No, because
that was 16.
no, sorry.
I thought that was 16.
Molly, we had this conversation last week. That's 46 seconds.
Oh,
for
sorry.
Laura
That's
too.
my bad.
So we've got to
Oh
move.
my gosh, so you're third.
You are third still. You were
Wow.
above Nim.
Love it.
You're above Laura
On the
and
leaderboard.
above your old guitar teacher and hurtingly above myself, unsurprisingly above Megan. But well done, Jamie. Did you enjoy playing Mystery Miss-Ups?
I did enjoy it. I was glad that it was an easy one.
Yeah, sorry about that. Do you want to do the next one, do you think? I don't know.
Yeah, I can write up the next one.
I think you should do the next one. But Jamie, just before we do sign off, if you could kind of go back, do you want me to move Taylor? Is Taylor really completely blocking you out the way? If you could go back to your early days in entrepreneurship, and I'm happy to accept any, because I know you've had kind of multiple bits in there. What's the number one piece of advice you'd give to that younger self?
I think, I don't know. So you've asked for one, I'm going to give you two. Just naturally.
That's fine. Yeah.
The first thing would be like, have fun with it, as in don't take it so seriously. I think that's a massive thing for me, particularly in growing MyPath. I started out thinking I needed to grow this massive team of people and taking it super seriously. And now I'm like, I just need to do the fun bits, which the fun bits are presenting at conferences and giving keynote speeches and going and working with people, the bit that I love. So do the bit that you love and don't get drawn into the having to grow really quickly bit. I think that's important. The second thing, which is just super practical, as soon as you employ people, sort out your pensions, because I got some scary letters telling me they're going to close my company down.
Did you?
Yeah. Just because of like not even realising I was supposed to be paying into a pension pot. And then all of a sudden being like, shit, I need to sort this out. So very practical and specific advice. Get a pension provider.
That's very niche. That's very niche advice.
One is very like airy fairy, just enjoy yourself, have fun. The second is like,
get your pension,
sort of pension out.
But we do say this a lot on the podcast. There's no guidebook. You set up a company. There's no right. Make sure you do this. Make sure you do that. Make sure you do this. Don't get you get drip fed some really nonsense emails from company's house and everything, but there's no guidebook. So you've got it. You're learning as you go and as you develop. And
I still work as a careers advisor, like in school. So I'm speaking to loads of kids that are thinking about setting up a business. And I think the kind of other bit that I thought was really important when I was younger is like I was always like, I'll wait till I've saved enough money to start it, or I'll wait until there's like a thing that triggers it. And I think that like for young people that are thinking about going into starting their own business, whether it's something small, something big, whatever, it's like just have a go. Do you know what I mean? Like just have fun and have a go. Like you don't need to get investment. You don't need to have 100 grand in the bank to start. You don't have to employ people straight away. You can just have a go and do something that you enjoy.
Do you think? Sorry, I said one last thing, and then I'm asking 27 more questions. But no, it's good. Do you think that social media is having an adverse effect on young people getting into business and entrepreneurships, and perhaps giving a false image? Do you feel?
Yeah, I think there's a glamorization of entrepreneurship. I think there's also, so I'm releasing a careers theory shortly about like money mindset and motivation, because I think there's a real gap where young people now are encouraged to monetize everything. Yeah. So like I see so many students in careers appointments that will say things like, I used to love playing football, but I don't play anymore because I can never go pro. Or like I'll meet people that say, I love baking, but I've stopped doing it recently because I'm not good enough to start a business. Yeah. Whereas I think there's a thing of like, pull back, are you okay?
Has the smoke machine been on?
Not again.
We'll just talk around.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think there's this thing of like, if you like doing crafty stuff, you have to be able to set up an Etsy. If you like baking, you have to do that. And I think we've lost the kind of what we were saying earlier about going to the pub and whatever. We've lost the ability to just do something for the sake of enjoyment.
Just have fun.
Yeah, just enjoy it. Like, I play football because I enjoy it, but I'm rubbish at it. Like I love drawing, but I'm terrible. It looks like my son's done it. Yeah, but I love doing it. Yeah. If you want to buy it, I'll sell it to you.
No, of course you would. Yeah. I think I do think you're right, and I know that I've been very guilty of that. I've just started playing back with my band again, and again, my mind has automatically gone back to maybe we could do weddings. Maybe we could change it to a wedding band. Like automatically, I've gone how do we turn this into a money thing as opposed to just, do you know what I'm actually loving? Just getting into Stay Free, the studios, and smelling the smells, but somehow bring back such wonderful nostalgia and just enjoying it and everything. Megan, are you okay? Are you sure? Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're okay. Please, if that gets cut out, I'm going to be massively upset.
I can't have 2 episodes where I just start having a coughing fit.
I think we can. It was hilarious. So in I think it was Nim's episode, wasn't it? I could hear the most weirdest noises coming from Megan's throat that I've never heard in a human being.
I don't know what's happening
Ever before. Is it the studio as a whole, do you think?
I've just started I've just started randomly just having coughing fits like every so it's happened in the worst places, in the middle of a podcast recording, on a train that's being delayed for like an hour, just stood still on a train and I'm just there coughing, in meetings, in just in every situation. It's never when I'm just at home doing nothing, it's always when I'm in like a situation where I can't.
Is it stress induced?
I don't know what it is, but it's concerning.
I'm concerned.
Maybe you need to get a doctor on and like just treat it as an appointment, but convince them it's a podcast.
Well, we've already. The thing is, I think a lot of the podcast guests we've had on are to sort of help Megan in various trials and tribulations in her life.
This whole podcast is literally just an intervention for
it has
different aspects of my life.
Yeah, we've had spiritual guiders come on to talk about things that Megan's seeing and not seeing and all sorts.
So as her boss, why have you brought a careers advisor
Yeah.
on?
well, Megan, I've got something for you. It's called a P4. No. Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you're okay, Megan.
Yeah,
I'm glad you didn't
okay.
spill too much water down,
Sorry, it's a bit
down your top. Jamie, listen, I'd love people to stay in touch with MyPath. I'd love people to get involved. I'd love people to stay in touch with you. Yep. How's best for people to find you? How's people to learn more? Yeah, you can go to www.mypathcareersuk.com and we've got all of our information on there. I'm on LinkedIn, Jamie Pywell. Reach out. Fantastic. And we'll make sure when these episodes go live on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and everywhere you get your streaming content, Megan will make sure that your links will be in the description. Awesome. Below. So, Jamie, thanks so much for coming on. You've been a great guest. No problem at all. Thanks for having me. Thank you very much. And that takes us to the end of another episode of the How I Failed in Business podcast. Jamie, thank you for joining us, and we'll definitely have a chat afterwards about like career advice and stuff like that. You might be here a while, mate. And of course, thank you to the listeners as well. Without your support at home, these episodes just could not happen. And don't worry, we do see you. We see the numbers going up every week. So thank you so much. Just please do us a favour. Hit that follow button over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube. If you do fancy sitting down in the hot seat, in the smoky seat with us to discuss your life, your ups and your downs, simply get in touch with us anywhere on social media. Thanks for joining. See you soon.